Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. As of yesterday, September 9th, 2022, Dominaria United is in full release. So we will take our last look at the pre-sale data of collector boxes from that set off of TCG Player. The final tally of boxes sold during the pre-sale was 2,688, and the 7-day moving average price coming in at about 246. Now, it melted down essentially nonstop from right after the Lost Legends reveal until release. I think that's reasonable. The Lost Legends was always overhyped. It was essentially a rug pull of WotC saying, look at these valuable cards that we're going to put in there. Maybe you'll get a Pendrell Veil. And the reality is, you're probably going to get a sub $1 common. Now, I thought a lot about what sets to compare this against. And I figured, other standard sets that are recent would be reasonable. Kamigawa Neon Dynasty and Streets of New Capenna. And I think it's really interesting because in terms of number of boxes sold, Kamigawa and Streets were very similar. Kamigawa sold 1,463 during its pre-sale period on TCG Player, and Streets sold 1,331. And so you can see they ended very close to each other over here. But the reality is both of them were right about half of Dominaria United sales, and it really shows how the anticipation for this set was much higher, that it sold twice as many boxes, and it did so at a price nearly $40 higher over most of the pre-sale period. So it was able to sustain much higher sales at a significantly higher price. Now, that price has been melting pretty rapidly from Thursday night into Friday afternoon. Friday being the full release day, the price fell $10 from $245 to $235. And, in the one day since then, from Friday until today, Saturday, it fell another $1 on TCG Player to $234. Now, I did see one set of boxes for sale today. It had a cheaper price for the boxes, but a higher price for the shipping. But when you spread the shipping over the 3 boxes that were being offered, they came to $215 each. So there are already card stores willing to pay the market fees, pay real shipping, and sell these at a loss, even today, one day post-release. So I don't think that bodes well for the price long term. Now, I don't think it's going to necessarily melt down under $200 in a month. I could be wrong about that. I think it'll just decline. Where it'll stop, I'll start getting really excited to buy myself somewhere around 220 or so. So we'll see around then. I think that's pretty reasonable. The textured foil cards turned out to be a total bait and switch. They gave us really nice, cool textured foil cards in DM22. And then WotC hypes up, you're going to get so many textured foil cards. There'll be one in every collector booster packs. You're going to love my texture foils. And then they turn out to not be nearly so nice. The way the foiling is applied is different in Dominaria United than it was in DM22, so they kind of baited and switched us on that. And then the rug pull of the Lost Legends, ultimately much long-term, will depend on how good is the underlying set. Lo and behold, how good a set is matters much more to its long-term value. And as of right now, there are still a decent number of cards that are holding over $10 values, cards and their variants, and that's not even to mention the foil variants that should hold at least a little bit higher value still. So if the set kind of gets a groupthink reputation as being a good set, then yeah, I could definitely see it holding somewhere at $220, $225 a box. I think that's really reasonable. But, if the mob comes around and just declares it's a terrible set like they do every single set, then sub 200 might be possible. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's still got room to melt down at least another $5 or $10 from this current $234 or so price on TCG Player. Now, if you check over on eBay today, the price has already gone below $230, and it's a couple of huge dealers, P Football Pete and Card Shop Live, Channel Fireball, who are competing, who have both already gone below the $230 mark and are fighting over pennies there at the high 229s. So that's how it looks today. If you still haven't bought, I haven't bought these yet, but if you still haven't bought, I'd suggest you wait a little while if you've already bought, as the price goes down over the next several weeks, maybe into the next several months, consider buying a few extra average down. I think long term, like most TCG products, it'll do great. But for the medium term, I think this is going to melt a bit more and there will be cheaper entry points, especially if we keep getting bonus buck sales like we have been. So let me know what you think. Any information I missed, any disagreement you have over this, heartburn, otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade and consider joining the Patreon. Thanks a lot, everyone.